Welcome to the First and 30 podcast. Here are your hosts, Nick Ocasio and Antonino DeSandro.
Welcome to the First and 30 podcast. This is episode 68, and this is the Fantasy Football Ultimate Cheat Sheet episode, Antonino. Why don't you tell the chain movement what we're all about and what we're going to get into today?
We are two 30-something-year-old guys giving you 4 fantasy land downs and 30 money-making minutes of NFL football insight to get you through your fantasy draft.
That's right. And I love this time of year, man, because as you know, I am deep in the weeds of all of my mock drafting, my fantasy insights, and we have a draft coming up this weekend, hence why I'm wearing my Arctic Foxes. If you don't know, that's my team name in our league. How are you feeling about it, though, Antonino, heading into the weekend? You ready?
I'm feeling great. I'm glad we have 11 other players giving their donations this year. I will gladly take that come year end. I will be wearing the championship ring. I'm ready. We're ready. I can't wait.
Well, there's a flip side to this too, right? There's going to be a league loser, and I'm kind of curious. I want to get the chain movement's feedback on this one. We're trying to decide on a punishment. And the two, I guess, like popular options right now are full body chest wax versus the beer mile run. And if you're not familiar with it, it's, you go on one of those tracks, you do 4 laps. At the end of each lap, you have to chug beer of the league's choosing. I mean, which one were you a fan of, Antonino? What's your favorite punishment that you would want to bestow upon the loser? Because it's not going to be me. I already know that, but I feel for the other people.
I mean, I'm due for my Brazilian wax, but I know a lot of people love drinking beer, so I don't think that's a punishment at all. No. I'm all for public humiliation. Send someone to dinner with a blow-up doll, record it from a third-person table. Let's just look at everyone's faces. That's my vote.
I do like that one too. But chain movement, if you have some crazy out there punishments, let us know in the comments. We're open to feedback on this one. I think last year we did the Hot Ones Challenge. The year before that, the loser dressed up in a clown suit. So, sky's the limits, though. Let us know what you do as a punishment in your league, and we'll kind of keep this open forum throughout this episode. But, Antonino, are you ready to get into this? We have some sleepers. We have some boom and bust type of situations, guys that you have to proceed with caution. But I think for first down, we're going to kick things off with our sleeper picks and our hidden gems. So we're sharing a little bit of our maybe philosophy heading into this draft. So I know a few of our league mates listen. Take this with a grain of salt, you guys. But Antonino, tell me, give me a name or two. Who are some of the sleepers that you're targeting that you think are kind of going under the radar right now that by end of season could potentially be league winners maybe? We'll see.
There's all this talk about the top-end receivers. The first round is flush with high-end receiver talent. But I'm going to dig a layer below that, and you have a Chicago's Bear receiver that is primed for a breakout. Yes, Rome Odunze, Caleb Williams, second year, offensive line revamped. We've talked about this. Ben Johnson, unlock the offense. Rome Odunze, in a world with Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Jefferson, Neighbors, Rome Odunze is the guy you got to keep an eye on for high value.
So do you think he has that kind of upside too, as finishing the season as a wide receiver 1 or 2? Because right now he's being drafted, I think in the 6th to 7th round. So ADP's, kind of baked in there with the potential upside. But it seems like you're kind of hinting that maybe he surpasses DJ Moore's production and becomes the guy in Chicago if Caleb can take it to that next level, basically.
Yep, the targets will be there. The offense is ready. Ben Johnson can really unlock this whole thing for him.
Well, I like that you say Odunze. I have a guy that was just playing with Chicago last year who I think is kind of a sleeper pick. And this is a guy that's going undrafted currently in most drafts.
Undrafted?
The league that I was just in this weekend, he's sitting on waivers. Somebody just picked him up today, actually, off of waivers. But the guy I'm hinting at is Keenan Allen, the long-time chart. Yes. Oh. Now, hear me out real quick.
Oh, no.
Last year, he was playing with a pretty rough offense in Chicago before they got this offensive line that's hopefully going to elevate Caleb, as you're alluding to, and that I've been stamping my feet toward all spring and all summer. But Keenan Allen is a 33-year-old wide receiver. If we look over at Carolina, Adam Thielen, when he was a 33-year-old wide receiver, posted 90 catches, over 1,000 yards. So that's kind of like a litmus test right there that you can still have this production at a late age. But here's the real reason why, Antonino. He's playing with a Chargers offense that is being projected to be one of the top 10 units, even with Rashad Slater being out. It's Herbert's old buddy. I have a feeling you put him back into the slot. Lad McConkey's on the other end. Who else do the Chargers have? Quentin Johnston's not going to eat up all those targets.
You had it right. You said old buddy. The guy can't go on the field with a cane in one hand and run these routes. The guy was almost out of the league. He just signed probably a week ago. The guy's on his last days in the league. He won't be an impact player, man. I'm sorry to break it to you.
I think he has potential to be a wide receiver 2, top 24, top 20 value that you're getting for free. So that's what we're looking for here. Sleepers, as if these are guys that you're not even thinking about that will have a relevant impact in fantasy. Give me another name, though.
I'm going to give you one more receiver because if we're talking receivers, you can't not talk about this guy. Another quarterback going into year 2, going to throw all his targets straight to Courtland Sutton, Denver Broncos receiver. That's his favorite target. He's going to get all the targets. Bo Nix is really going to progress from last year. I think it just makes sense. And he's going in the 5th round. Come on. He should definitely be drafted before then.
So we saw, though, Courtland Sutton. You disagreed with me with my Keenan Allen, but we saw last season Courtland Sutton probably hit his peak with Bo Nix throwing 29 touchdowns. Do we anticipate Bo Nix elevating to another level, throwing more than 29 touchdowns? Courtland Sutton was still borderline back-end wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 for fantasy purposes. With that upside, I wouldn't consider him a sleeper, man. I'm sorry. I know the chain movement's probably going to agree with me on this one. Like, Sutton's a known commodity. We know what his floor is. I don't think the ceiling goes much higher than what we've already seen. So, I mean, I'm going to have to poke back on this one.
I'm going to say hidden gem. Yeah, he's going in the 5th, but I think he should be going in the 2nd or 3rd.
That's big value, though.
30, 40 picks ahead of time. So
okay, I think that's big value regardless. I think people want to know running backs, though, too. Like, wide receivers and running backs are the positions that we value the most in fantasy. When it comes to running backs, I'm going to throw 2 names out there real quick. And in terms of sleepers, Braylon Allen, the RB2 with the Jets. Right now, his ADP is around 125. But we have a new coaching staff with New York. Aaron Glenn. We just saw what the Lions did with that old Detroit regime. So we're kind of coming off of this coaching tree where I think the Jets are going to want to use more of a committee approach. They love Braylon Allen. All I've been hearing all offseason is how much this Jets team is supporting Braylon Allen, what he's showing in camp. There's been comparisons to him being like a Derrick Henry type of player, just a downhill straight line runner with the acceleration and burst that they like to see. So I have a feeling where you're getting him at 125, Breece Hall right now is going in the 4th round. I think there's a legitimate shot by the end of this season, this backfield will be taken over by Braylon Allen, and Breece Hall is going to be an afterthought. So mark my words there.
It's really sad to see Breece Hall's downfall. He had the injury, but they will split carries. So that's a very gray area situation. But if we want to talk running backs, I got a super sleeper. They're so far asleep, they're Snorlax. They're so far asleep. Ollie Gordon from Miami just poked his head out this last preseason game because there's some injuries down there in Miami. Devon Achane, injured. Jaden Wright, injured. Who's up next? Ollie Gordon, 2023 Doak Award winner in college, had 20 touchdowns in 2023. I thought he was the best running back in all of college. They got him in the 6th round. Ollie Gordon, folks, keep an eye on that name.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's pretty much going undrafted. I'd say take a flyer on him. He has the potential to be top-end value here in the early goings. You would think that when Achane gets back, though, maybe he's irrelevant. So perhaps just like a beginning of the year, fill him into your spot, quick start. I like Ollie Gordon, though, as a prospect. I like that name, too. Might as well take a shot on him. And I have one more running back for you. Keaton Mitchell's a guy that you're not going to be drafting, obviously. And we're talking about a deep sleeper here, like a name that you're not even thinking about. I think that's what we're relating here with a sleeper pick. But Keaton Mitchell, as a rookie, was averaging 8.4 yards per carry. It was one of the more explosive, efficient types of seasons. He only had like 40 carries. Last season, tears his ACL, out for most of the year. Preseason, he has looked phenomenal, averaging 7.6 yards per carry. If in a world where Derrick Henry, a 31-year-old running back, loses a step, maybe gets injured. He's been healthy for the most part, but we recall like 3 years ago, he missed a big chunk of games in the back half. I'm just saying, watch out for Keaton Mitchell. Keep him at least on your radar. You never know. This guy could go off and become the next Devon Achane. That's my comp. That's my comp for Mitchell.
Fair enough. Let's see what the people think. Fair enough.
Let us know in the comments. Yeah. All right. So that does it for first down, Antonino. We're going to kind of pump the brakes here a little bit, and we're going to have to proceed with caution on these players. So, we have a lot of names. There's guys that we have a lot of hope with, but who are some names that as you're eyeing your mock draft and they're coming across your board that you're just like, I have to pump the brakes here. I don't know if I feel comfortable taking this guy and putting him on my team and investing the value in him. So give me somebody that's on the top of your list for this.
If you hated all my picks and all my gems and all my sleepers, at least you got to listen to these cautionary tales here, all right? So come a little closer, because here's a player that I would not touch with a 10-foot pole, and you're not going to like this, but it's Justin Jefferson,
Whoa.
Minnesota Vikings wide receiver.
Get out of here. Why? You have to give me your reasons, though. This is going to
be the bust of all busts is coming with Justin Jefferson this year. Heed my warning, folks. He's got a quarterback who's technically a rookie. He didn't play last year, and J.J. McCarthy. He played at Michigan in an offense that did not really even pass the ball. The guy is so mediocre, and Justin Jefferson already dealing with hamstring issues in the preseason. I don't know. I think his numbers are going to take a dip. No. He might be a bust if J.J. McCarthy comes out and lays a dud this year.
Did you not do any prep, Antonino? What is going on over here? Why are you throwing
it? You heard it here first.
No. Okay, this is a guy that is quarterback proof. It doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball, Antonino. He's going to put up numbers. It does not matter. We've seen it. Last year, he had Sam Darnold throwing in the ball. Same narrative going into the season. People started fading from Justin Jefferson. We saw it in our league. He fell into the second round, which is just stupid. He should not have fallen as far as he did. And what did he do last year? Oh, he put up 1,500 yards, double-digit touchdowns, over 100 receptions with Sam Darnold. So I don't think it matters. It does not matter who the quarterback is.
Mind you, McCarthy, in his whole college career, he never threw the ball for more than 3,000 yards, and he only threw the ball for more than 2,000 yards twice. Lackluster. Watch out. Justin Jefferson, run away.
Okay. Well, we could debate on that for this entire down, but we won't. We won't do that. I'm going to stick in Minnesota here. And I'm looking at Aaron Jones over there, a 31-year-old running back who's being taken in the 6th round. It's a name, right? When you're coming into the 5th, 6th round turn and you see Aaron Jones, you're like, wow, I know Aaron Jones. This is a guy that played 17 games last season. And, he did pretty well. I think I'm going to take him. What a value. I'm telling you, proceed with caution. I'd advise maybe bypassing this exit and go for another exit. Go down the road a little bit more and maybe ignore this one, because the Vikings went ahead. They traded for Jordan Mason, who showed a lot of promise, honestly, last year with the 49ers before he himself got injured. And the Vikings are going to prioritize getting Jordan Mason the ball in the red zone. So at first, we're going to see, I think, a 50-50 split. Aaron Jones was very inefficient in the red zone. I think he scored 3 touchdowns out of 12 attempts last year, which was really bad. The Vikings as a whole had an issue there. Jordan Mason's going to be that goal line guy. I will not be surprised if Aaron Jones misses a handful of games because of injury. He falls completely off in terms of efficiency, and this backfield just turns into Jordan Mason's backfield. So I'm not touching Jones. I would proceed with caution. It's not, and you're talking about McCarthy and everything too. Why? Another reason, if you're going to have a bottom offense, as Antonino is alluding to, then you don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah, that's fair. I like where you're going with that one. I would say 5-foot pole. Justin Jefferson, 10-foot pole. This may be a 5-foot pole, but I have another one, and this is going to make everyone listening very sick. This is the same guy we talk about every year. Kyle Pitts, tight end for the Falcons. Every year he lets us all down. All right, there's no way.
No, you got to go for Pitts this year. Come on.
Fool me once, fool me twice. I don't trust it. I don't trust Michael Penix. Kyle Pitts. No, that's it.
That's somebody. That's it. I have a quick story to say. Quick story about Kyle Pitts. Over the week, I was in California visiting my new nephew and my brother-in-law, Sammy, who listens to the podcast. Shout out to Sammy. He's also in our fantasy league. Well, right now there's a meme and something viral going around in the fantasy community about taking Kyle Pitts with the 101. So Antonino, Sammy starts telling this to my father-in-law, hey, Kyle Pitts is great. Kyle Pitts is that. I kid you not, man, over this weekend in this draft, my father-in-law took Kyle Pitts in the 6th round, had him ranked as his 4th tight end because of the advice that he was receiving from Sammy. So, some people...
We've gone completely off the rails here. That is poor, very poor.
I don't think I'd touch Kyle Pitts either, although I have hope that Michael Penix and this offense are going to actually take a step up this upcoming season. But I think the ultimate guy that I'm just, if you're willing to draft this player, you are the riskiest MFer that I would ever know. Like, you're the type of person that takes those shots of vodka that have the scorpion in it if you're willing to take this player. And I'm talking about Christian McCaffrey, CMC. Oh. There's no way. There is absolutely no way I am taking him with my 1st round pick, which is what you will have to do, it looks like, this year, because earlier on he was in the 2nd round range, which I was a little bit more okay with. I was like, all right, if he falls to me in the 18th pick, I would consider it. Now he's going at like the 7th, the 8th pick. You've got to be mad to take a dude that he's the ultimate boomer bust, right? Like, if he plays, he could be a league winner, but more than likely he's not going to play a lot of games and he's going to lose you your league. So why do you want to go through that misery? Why do you want that?
The highs are just so high that it's like a drug. It's like CMC scoring a touchdown every game for 15, 20 games in a row at one point. The highs are just high, Nick.
I think we're past his prime. He's a 29-year-old running back. We see how it goes coming off of double Achilles tendonitis. That just sounds nasty, man. I want nothing to do with Christian McCaffrey.
This hold down has been as nasty as it comes. I think I can't take anymore. 10-foot pole, 20-foot pole. I can't take none of this nastiest. Nasty.
All right, man. Well, with that then, how about we head into the locker room so you can collect yourself and get rid of this nastiness.
I'm collecting myself, and I'm collecting all of the chain movement. We have 2,000 followers on Instagram. We just want to take a second to thank you all. We have big things in the works. We're going to be giving back. Keep an eye out for that. Big things on the way.
That's right. And if you are not a part of the chain movement yet, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. We would greatly appreciate it. Goes a long way. With that, Antonino, we're heading out of the locker room from our half-minute halftime, and we're going to get into 3rd down. And with this 3rd down, let's talk rookies. Rookies with the most fantasy upside this season. There's actually such a long list, we're not going to be able to get to them all. But who's standing out to you outside of Genty? Because I think that's the obvious one. Everybody wants a piece of Ashton Genty. Give me some, creative names here.
If we're going to go creative, I had an idea for the first one, but if we're going creative, how about Tatora McMillan? I hope I'm saying that right. I probably butchered that.
Just say Tet McMillan. It's a lot
McMillan.
Easier.
I probably butchered it. Sorry if he's listening. He'll be on the Panthers. The Panthers have Bryce Young at quarterback, who showed flashes towards the end of the year. We had Matt from Good Card Gains on our show. He had big things to say about Carolina and their quarterback and receiving core. I think they're going to be playing from behind all year long. Hence, I think he's going to get a lot of targets and a lot of yards. He's out of Arizona. He got drafted 1st round. He could have a great year as a rookie receiver. That's my
I like
pick.
Tet. I want Tet McMillan stock this year. You can give him in the 4th or 5th round. I think he's definitely worth taking a 5th round, chance on. Why not? You don't have a lot to lose there. I mean, I'll keep it with the wide receivers too. We were talking about Tampa Bay a few weeks ago and your visit to their training camp. There's a wide receiver there named Emeka Ibuka, also a 1st round pick out of Ohio State that is just skyrocketing up
So
draft boards right now. A big part of that has to do with Chris Godwin and this injury that he sustained last year, the compound fracture to the ankle. He's still not fully recovered. He's going to start this season potentially on the physically unable to perform list. Then we saw Jalen McMillan just have a really severe neck injury, and he's going to miss a lot of time this year. So outside of the depth chart concerns in Tampa Bay, yeah, Mike Evans, who's a 30-plus-year-old receiver. I just think Mbuka getting drafted with this new coaching staff, new offensive coordinator at least, sky's the limit for this guy. And you can get him in the 8th, 9th round. Heck yeah. I'm slamming that draft button for Emeka Ibuka.
yeah, these rookies, this is a strong rookie class. I'm going to go out and say it. And there's even some sleepers. I'm going to go as far as saying the running back out of New England, might have heard of him in college, Ohio State, Travion Henderson. In the preseason, he returned a kickoff for a touchdown. He's running the ball hard. They might have a little injuries here and there, but how do you say his name? Rhamondre Stevenson, the starting
Rhamondre, man.
English isn't my first language, but that name's tough. He's not that much as a starting running back. He can easily be passed. Travion Henderson, I think he'll get a ton of carries. Yeah. He's a bowling ball. He's going to be great.
Yeah, I mean him, Omarion Hampton. He's the guy for the Charger. What?
Rhamondre.
Rhamondre. You got it though. You know, you just have to sound it out. Consonants. You got it, man. I'm proud of you. No, Omarion Hampton, another big name, running back, 1st round pick. I took him in the 4th round in my league this past weekend. You're probably looking at a 3rd round pick for him, but I'm gonna just throw one more name out there. This is kind of a deeper rookie sleeper pick, if you will. Luther Burden. We've been talking about Chicago. We've been talking about Roman Dunzier. This is a new coaching staff that selected this guy early in the 2nd round. A lot of the receivers that are currently in this roster are not a part of this new Ben Johnson regime. So they saw a guy that they wanted and they grabbed him. And I just think Burden has so much upside to potentially take over DJ Moore as like more of the slot guy. Filling in Keenan Allen's role. And Keenan Allen last year had 70-plus catches, over 700 yards. And right now, Luther Burden's not being drafted, which I think if you have that 70-catch, 700-yard upside, this is a dude that should be going in like the 8th round at least.
I think he's going to have a lot of trouble getting target share. They have a lot of weapons over there. It'll be interesting how they balance that out. But if I were going to talk about targets, Tyler Warren, he was the consensus #1 tight end in the draft before being passed up on by Chicago, who got Colston Loveland. I'm going to go on a whim here and say the Colts are going to be like the check down machines all year, and they're going to be looking at Tyler Warren, consensus #1 tight end. He's going to have a huge year. I expect him to be elite.
Yeah, no, he could put up Brock Bowers-esque type numbers.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones being there instead of Anthony Richardson, I think just helped his stock even more. I'm for it. If you pair him up, maybe grab like a vet tight end late in the draft. If you can get like, Jake Ferguson or somebody like that, just to test the waters at first. And that's what I would advise for a lot of these rookies. Try to pair these guys up with a vet on your team before you go ahead and draft, because we see it with rookies. They start to hit in the later weeks, after week 7, 8, something like that. So that's kind of what you're aiming for, I think.
They got to get their feet wet a little bit. They're in the pros now, the full speed, they get used to it.
That's right. Rhamondre.
Rhamondre.
You got it,
Rhamondre Stevenson. He's going to be riding the pine after the 2nd week of the season.
Don't be drafting him. You don't want Rhamondre on your team this year.
You don't want him.
All right, man. That does it for 3rd down. We are heading into 4th down, 4th and long, if you will. How about we do some stock up, stock down? We can kind of go a little bit quicker with this one. Yep. Maybe we get some names out there for the chain movement just so they know what's happening ahead of your draft. I mean, this is your cheat sheet moment, right? Like we're trying to give you all the intel before you go and make these selections. And you don't want to be the guy that's drafting Joe Mixon in the 4th round because you're still using your ESPN rankings from 2 weeks ago, because this has changed completely. But why don't you kick us off, man? I kind of led you in here with Joe Mixon. His stock's falling, which means who's rising?
Things are changing so fast. And lo and behold, Nick Chubb, the forgotten Nick Chubb, who was with the Browns, tore his knee up, came back, didn't get much playing time last year. He's back. He's going to be starting. We'll find out what he has left in the tank, but he's going to get a lot of carries. Nick Chubb, stock up.
Check out Woody Marks, too. He's the rookie for the Texans, more of a passing down guy. Dameon Pierce is still on this roster. Worth maybe taking a flyer on him late in your drafts, too, in case this whole Nick Chubb thing doesn't work out. But, yeah, Joe Mixon, he's starting the season on the PUP. There's a lot of ambiguity around his injury, too. He could be out most of the season, people are saying. And I saw guys this weekend taking him in the 6th round. And I'm like, why? I wouldn't draft Joe Mixon at all. So please don't be those people that are taking Mixon. I have a riser here. Zach Charbonnet. His stock's up. Right now, ADP is around 90, which consequently means Kenneth Walker's stock, in my opinion, should be going down. He's being drafted in the 40s currently. There's a lot of talk around this Clint Kubiak outside zone run scheme that he's bringing to Seattle. A lot of optimism that the Seahawks are really prioritizing the run this year. But there have been so many glowing remarks from this coaching staff about Charbonnet. I'm taking Charbonnet. I'm all in on him.
I'm going to say Chardonnay, as in no. I like Kenneth Walker. I think he still has a lot in him. I think they're going to split carries. That's going to be a muddy situation.
They're saying Charbonnet is a cerebral, intelligent player, and the thing that hold up. The thing that he's contributing the most that Walker can't seem to get in grips with is just being available, and that's Kenneth Walker's problem. He was dealing with an injury in training camp. Charbonnet was not. Charbonnet was there. He was getting acclimated to Kubiak's system while Walker was sitting on the bench, just stretching out his hammies and just trying to, not get a paper cut and miss a few games. So I'm not in on Walker. I hope you take him, and I'll take Charbonnet, and we'll see who's laughing at the end of the season, my friend.
I'm going to tell you who I'm all the way in on stock, way up. Kyren Williams, the running back for the Rams. Just when you thought, what's going to happen here? He gets a brand new contract. He's going to get a boatload of carries. People give him a hard time for his amount of touches and yards per touch. There's statistics out there. The guy's a workhorse. He gets it done. Towards the end of last year, he was doing very well. Come playoff time, he was the guy like he usually is. Kyren Williams, stock up.
This is a polarizing player. I'm not touching Kyren Williams. The guy is one of the most inefficient backs. Yes, he gets a lot of carries. We saw this with Rachaad White just a season ago. Rachaad White had a lot of carries, and what happened to him? He got faded out for a better running back. And I'm not buying it, man. A 2nd or 3rd round pick for Kyren Williams, that's rich to me. Even with this contract, I don't think that signals anything. You still have Blake Corum on this team. You have Hunter that they just drafted this year. There is a legitimate chance that they fade away from him for a guy that's more explosive potentially. That's just my take. You don't have to say anything in return because I'm going to tell you a stock that's rising here. Austin Eckler. Yes, I am bringing back all these older names. No, Austin Eckler's stock is rising along with Bill Krasky Harris.
Yes,
that guy. Yeah. I know he was on your list. So these Washington tailbacks, stock rising. Brian Robinson, he's gone. He just got traded to the 49ers. But hear me out with Eckler, man. Last season, before he was getting injured, he was finishing as a running back 6 and 16 when Brian Robinson was out too. So when he was the guy, he was finishing as an RB1, RB2 numbers. Concussions got to him. That faded him out. I'm just saying, don't sleep on Austin Eckler. I would draft him with the 10th, 11th round. Why not?
He'll be in the senior citizen home halfway through the season. One more concussion. He's going to be
you don't even know. You don't know he's going to be.
I was going to say he was going to be a vegetable, but that was kind of mean.
Yeah, I'm glad you stumbled on your words on that one.
Yeah. But I got two names. One's obvious, so I'll be quick with this one. Nico Collins. Obviously, Tank Dell is hurt with the torn ACL. Nico Collins going to be the number one option. Stock is way up. Stroud, come on. He's got to do it this year. But one last one. And people are like, how is this stock rising? It's already through the roof. Brock Bowers, tight end for the Raiders. You're wondering, how is this possible? He had 112 catches, 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns. How is this possible? Well, let me tell you what. The Raiders quarterback last year was Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. And now they're going to have Geno Smith and Ashton Genty. Folks, Brock Bowers, stock up. Explosion season, nuclear season coming. Brock Bowers, stock up through the roof.
So we know who Antonino is taking with his first round pick this weekend. Brock Bowers, and then on the turn, Ashton Genty, and then maybe in the third, Ramondre Stevenson.
We gave up all our secrets today, Nick. I don't know. All our dirty laundry is out there for everyone. The cheat sheet. Wow.
There we go. That's your cheat sheet. Best of luck with everybody on their drafts this upcoming weekend. I mean, the next time we're going to see the chain movement too is going to be in 2 weeks after the first week of the season. So things are getting heated.
Oh yeah. Let's hit this 2-minute drill first. Let's finish this off the right way.
All right, man. 2-minute drill. Go.
The Commanders have signed their star receiver Terry McLaurin to a 3-year deal, $96 million.
I mentioned it before, but the Chargers offensive lineman, Rashawn Slater, he tore his patella tendon. He's going to miss the entire season.
Buffalo Bills signed their disgruntled running back James Cook to a 4-year, $48 million deal.
And there was a trade alert. John Mechie, the wide receiver, former second-round, third-round pick for the Houston Texans, was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for a bag of peanuts.
The 49ers have traded for Commanders Brian Robinson Jr. for a 6th-round pick.
This might hurt Brock Bowers' stock. Amari Cooper just signed with the Las Vegas Raiders, a 1-year, $3.5 million deal. We'll see if he has anything left in the tank.
Another player going to Vegas, Kenny Pickett, was traded from the Browns to the Raiders for a 5th-round pick.
The Vikings trade quarterback Sam Howell to the Philadelphia Eagles and would later sign Carson Wentz to fill that spot.
The Dolphins have signed Matthew Judon to a 1-year, up to $6 million deal.
And the Patriots signed, Patriots wide receiver Jalen Polk will miss the entire 2025 season due to a shoulder injury.
The Colts have signed cornerback Xavier Howard.
And the Jets traded for Vikings defensive tackle Harrison Phillips.
The Commanders have signed former Seahawks offensive tackle George Fant.
And the Chiefs are trading Sky Moore to the 49ers. And yes, Sky Moore is still in the NFL. I didn't know that either.
And last but not least, the Cincinnati Bengals have completed the Holy Trinity by signing Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Trey Hendrickson all in the same offseason, giving him a $14 million bonus to make his salary $30 million for this coming year. Win, win, win.
Have to end it on the Bengals. But you know what? We're not going to end it on the Bengals because the biggest breaking news today, Antonino, if you didn't see, our guy, Travis Kelce, proposed to Taylor Swift. They are engaged. I know you're so happy about love. Finding love, man. Come on. You know you are.
We're going to see plenty of them during the season. Believe you this, we're going to see Travis Kelce and them all day long. But I'm proud of us. I'm proud of the chain movement. I'm proud of everything we accomplished over the past 7 months to get to this point in time, folks. We have made it. Football season's here. We're just over a week away. I want to wish everyone's teams good luck, unless you're playing the Bengals. It's the send-off to kickoff. As you guys know, we'll see you on the next one. The next one is the best one.
That's right. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the First and 30 podcast. Until next time, remember, when your number's called, no matter the odds,
let's go for it.